Welcome back to the Steak and Butter vlog. Today I have a very special guest, my husband.
So,
We're Hubby and I are going to do a married couple husband-wife Q&A. Are you excited, honey?
well, I'm seeing as I'm obligated to be here, apparently.
You're not
Yes.
obligated. You can do whatever you want. I just asked nicely and he said yes today because he was in the right mood.
I'm
and
always
so I was
in the
lucky.
right mood for you.
Aww.
I don't have a choice. Because the consequence is you being in the wrong mood.
Smart husband. Okay. They wanted me to address them as Butter Bites, so you have to say hello, Butter Bites.
Hello, Butter Bites.
Was it difficult to get your husband on board to go carnivore? This is a great question, and I do want to, keep it super clear here. My husband is not carnivore. My husband is more animal-based, and so if you can describe your typical diet, I think this will help a lot of people understand how I eat versus how you eat.
I would say it's very meat heavy, 20% fruit, tomatoes, and lettuce.
And your favorite caprese salad?
Yeah, you haven't made that for me in a while. I love that salad.
I know, I have
It's
to
like
get
my
back to that.
favorite salad. Yeah, I like avocados. I rarely get them though because they're like $10 an avocado now.
Yeah,
But
totally. How many meals do you eat a day, honey?
2,
Nice.
if I'm lucky.
I think the question was basically asking, how did I get my husband to be health conscious, to clean up his diet as well? My husband did do carnivore resets every now and again for
I
the
do it all the
past.
time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. But he would fall more in the animal based category. Think Paul Saladino's diet, except with not as much raw honey and heavy on the salad and fruit. So that's my husband's diet. And I'm a very strict carnivore to this day. 7 years in, I still need to stay strict because my skin issues
That's the difference.
stay away. Yeah.
Is you need to and I don't. And I think most people don't have the kind of, discipline that you do. Most people are like me. If
Yeah.
you don't have an actual need where it drastically affects the quality of your life, it's never enough to stick to any kind of seriously helpful diet. Just wanting to lose weight, I don't think is enough. I mean, it's never been enough for me.
Yeah.
The only times I do the reset is when I feel like total garbage,
Yeah.
either mentally from stressful work week
Yeah.
or physically because I haven't been sleeping well. And then the first thing I want to do is I want to eat clean.
Yeah.
And second of all, I want to only eat meat because I've experienced it so many times, I know it works. But then the problem for me is feel good again and I stop.
What makes you want to stop?
I almost forget why I did the reset to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I go back to my normal routine. I am not even as strict as I would want to be. I'll still have like an ice cream,
Yeah.
or I'll go for like tacos on Saturday.
My husband represents the mass population, most of the population, and I represent the chronically ill.
For sure.
I feel grateful that I can represent this amazing community because when you're desperate to heal, you'll do anything to heal. Meanwhile, my husband, he does resets whenever he wants to feel extra good again and whenever he goes off track a little bit. And that happens to the best of us when we go on vacation, when we travel, when we have social situations with friends. It's totally normal.
From being on the outside looking in, I have to say, being totally unemotional and totally unbiased, that this diet does work.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody not experience some kind of benefit from going on this diet. If I go carnivore for like 5 days and then I have taco on the 6th.
Yeah.
Do you guys say 6th or 6th?
6th year.
I just say 6th. Language is a means to an end. If you understand what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
but I truly don't understand what that word is when you say it like that.
Sixth. 6th.
All right, next question. This is more personal. How did you guys meet?
We met in school. I chased you in school. It's actually a really funny story because you were in the graduate division and I was undergraduate. For people who don't know, Isabella is a little bit older than I am.
6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. And a lot a bit smarter because you were in the graduate program.
Yeah.
We only had one shared class, and it was a class with like 300 people in it. They had a class project,
Yeah.
and they were splitting people into 8 groups. We would count down, there were like 10 rows of people, and people would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the number you called out would be your correlating group. And so Isabella would always sit in the very front of the class. She's never been shy about that. And I always sit in the back because I don't like dealing with people. The advantage it gave me was that I realized this was my opportunity, if I schemed correctly, to force her to give me her number. Right? Because if we're in the same group, I could say, hey, I need your number so we can work on this project. Okay. Yeah. She was in the front. She called out, what do you say? Like, I think it was 4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
So then I counted every single head in front of me. It was like hundreds of heads to figure out what number I would be, to make sure when it got to me, I'd be 4 or 5. 5 minutes later, when it finally got to me, I was like, 5. And then we ended up being in the same group. She gave me her number. Honestly, I didn't do much with it, but a year later, I still had her number. So I texted her and we started talking a lot and ended up hitting it off.
So funny enough,
Love
when he was in my group, I was very excited to get to know him because, I was eyeing him for sure. And like the whole
That's a
year,
lie.
you were so funny. You were texting me in that exact class all the time, even though it wasn't really right to text in class, but you would nonstop text me just to make me laugh. So when we were in the same group, I was like, yay, I already like him, right? And the only thing he really truly asked me to get to know me was, hey, how tall are you? And that's it.
Maybe this is something men can relate to.
I was like,
It's
that's so lame.
You're the smoothest guy until you're emotionally vested and you actually care about the outcome. I mean, I never had any issue, honestly, like hitting off a conversation.
Okay, but so why are you so nervous with me?
Because I actually cared that you responded positively. Because if I didn't care, you just like walk away. I'm like, oh, okay, like that's what I expected anyways. So.
What about me made you care so much?
You're just so hot. You're so much hotter than everyone else. You are so much hotter. You are like the Moby Dick of hotness.
How is that a good analogy?
It is a good analogy.
Okay. I'm glad you think I'm hot, honey. A lot of people want to know why you're not carnivore with me.
Right now, I don't feel an intrinsic need, and I am not as self-motivated as a lot of people out there. And I could just never quite eat enough. I would always eat to the point where I would want to eat more, but it just simply was not enough.
Yeah.
I would always start to feel a little bit lethargic. And like I'm like quite active.
Very.
When I'm not active, I couldn't really tell as much. But if I go exercise or play tennis, I would feel a loss in explosivity. I wouldn't feel like I can really push. So I guess that's always the reason why I would stop. But more importantly, I think is the reason why I would start, which is I felt like absolute garbage mentally or physically. And it has always allowed me to get back to zero every single time I've tried it. And then I guess the reason I don't continue has been the loss of explosivity. Probably day will come where I will have a need to just stick to it, and I'll be happy to stick to it. Just right now, I'm kind of taking my health for granted in a way, and I'm not playing the long game.
Well, the biggest blessing is that he's metabolically healthy and he didn't damage his health to the point where I ended up with a vegan diet of 6 years. And so that's the biggest difference. And so you can either relate to Max's side or my side. This is a great one. What made you guys realize you were meant for each other?
We actually took a break.
We did.
Because you were ready to make the relationship more serious and then start discussing marriage together and stuff. And I didn't feel like I was ready for that. So we took a break, and during that time, for me, it was a feeling like I had made a mistake. It wasn't an emotional thing. It was just on a practical level, I felt like I made a mistake. I don't know if that's the answer people want to hear, but for me, that's what it took to really want to commit to this relationship forever, right? That's what it was for me. It was a practical thing, of course, very emotional, but just a very strong feeling like I had made a very big mistake.
Wow.
So that's pretty much
Yeah, sometimes some time away from your partner could give you more clarity than you think. For me, though, my answer is a little bit different because I saw these qualities in him very early on. The qualities that made me feel like he was the one for me. I'm always thinking of, do I see this person as the father of my kids? And the traits that Max has that made me feel like, yeah, he's going to be the father of my kids is firstly his tenacity. He is so persistent even despite when times are extremely difficult and stressful and hard, like
It's a front.
he'll be the last person who leaves that situation. He'll do whatever it takes to figure it out. And I really respect that quality. Someone who's patient and kind, especially the patience part. Everybody just wants instant gratification. Everybody is impatient these days. I didn't know that I could love someone as much as I do until I met Max. And so something that I was like really proud of growing up as a teenager and even in my early 20s studying at Juilliard in New York City was that I was so proud that I was an independent woman and I felt like I didn't need a man in my life. And then when I met Max, I realized I can't live without him. So that's another reason why I was like, okay, he's the one for me because he makes my life better in every single aspect. One thing you learned about marriage that you didn't expect before you got married. I can just tell by your face
What do you mean?
you're thinking. After I got married, I learned how to just let my husband lead in the relationship more than I thought I could before even getting married. Because I think when we were dating, I was sometimes even fighting you to try to be the leader in the relationship. And now I am so much more comfortable and honestly happy that you can lead in this marriage and I can just follow and trust you. I thought that I always had to be super strong and independent and boss mode all the time. It is so relieving to just be a wife that can let the husband lead.
I think it's very balanced. In maybe more traditional relationship, the man is taking all the direction and then the woman is following. But I really like what we have where both of us are kind of just like partners.
Yeah.
You know,
So.
I also think that you are very different from not just most women, but just most people. I see the kind of mindset and dreams that you have akin to those of very significant figures who always wanted to get more out of their life. That's something that I think I've learned more from you, being inspired to want to like move forwards. I think that's something about you. I think most people don't want to move forwards. I think most people just talk about moving forwards, but really they're happiest just sitting still. Honestly, I'm more that way myself.
Yeah.
Having someone like you as a partner in life has inspired me to want to move forwards and to test myself. There's not a lot of people like you. I feel like if it were not for your very healthy lifestyle choices, like your diet and you always sleep early and you always wake up early, this kind of thing, that you'd be really unhealthy right now. Just because you do too much.
Yeah.
You really do too much. You're doing like 4 or 5 people's things at the same time at all times.
The reason why I don't see it as too much, but the reason why I can do so much all at once is because firstly, I have a very supportive and strong rock of a husband. Like he's so supportive in everything that I want to do. He only just helps me make my dreams happen in an easier way. My life today is a byproduct of me taking care of my diet. I truly believe that. When I've struggled with my skin issues for that long, and then realizing that I could live a life pain-free and med-free, I'm gonna stick to this diet. There's nothing that can get me away from this diet because I'm living my best life. And so for a lot of people, when they're in a desperate situation where they're super sick and chronically ill, when they get a taste of freedom, pain-free life from a carnivore diet, yeah, it's going to keep us sticking to this lifestyle forever. And I think I'm so lucky because I'm young. So because I healed everything and I'm back to optimal health, I'm able to feel so excited about life that I can do all these things. And I feel a responsibility to give back to this community because day one of going carnivore, I felt the support and love from that tiny little carnivore community back then. And I want to do the same for everyone entering today.
People are really nice, you know.
The nicest. And by the way, speaking of doing all of these things, I just wanted to share with you guys my cookbook link for pre-order is life. Did you know that?
Of course I knew because you've been cooking like literally like 10 hours a day with your team of cooks as well.
But the
and
link is now live.
photographer for the last like 3-4 weeks.
Not a minute of any of this does it feel like a chore or like actual work. I feel like I
you've been
get to
really
just do what I love.
Like when you make your YouTube videos and stuff, that's your favorite thing.
So we met at Juilliard, and because we both were artists, I think classical piano is the most difficult instrument to study.
It is.
It really is. There's nothing that beats piano. But because we're both classically trained pianists that studied at Juilliard, I truly feel like us making content together as a team, I feel like it has replaced our need for that creativity outlet that we used to have with piano.
I do miss certain things about a music career, for sure.
You can always go back, and we're going to buy a piano for the house.
Well, I can't. I mean, I have nerve injury. I can't really
Carnivore.
play.
What's one habit or routine that strengthened your marriage?
Ooh.
You can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
I think just asking each other throughout the day, how was your day? How are you doing, honey? Mm-hmm. You know, like honestly, that one question has made a very big difference in at least how I perceive my marriage with my husband.
For sure.
You know, checking in on each other does more than you know. And I personally, as a wife, we're like 2 years married now. I don't require or want my husband to do lavish things for me. That's the last thing that I want. I just want my husband to do simple things, which is check in on me, see how I'm doing, ask if we want to do anything special for dinner, and like that's it. Okay, I know what you're gonna say.
I mean, it depends on your mood,
It does depend on my mood.
which is ever changing.
Look, women are on a 30-day cycle. Men are on a 24-hour cycle. You guys are robots compared to us.
Okay. All right. Well, I agree with you. And just consciously checking in. That's how you keep a marriage healthy on the day to day. So kind of like, in a way, sometimes going through motions is a good thing.
It is a good thing. Here, put this behind your back. Let me do one more IG and then we'll do some YouTube and we'll call it a day. And we can, of course, do part 2, part 3 if you guys like this type of hubby-wife sit-down. Okay, what's your best tip for a successful marriage?
Endurance.
What does that mean?
You have to be willing to endure really, really uncomfortable, disparate situations with your partner.
For me, it's just learning to listen and just stop talking, you know? That's a really, really, really good tip that I have for marriage, especially for somebody who really likes to fix things and try to like resolve right now.
That's a really good one, actually. I think that would be my answer. Yeah, okay. For men, it's the best tip is like when your wife is upset about something, focus on the fact that she is upset, not on necessarily like what she's upset about.
Wise, very wise.
That is huge because sometimes
Look at his face.
Because sometimes it's like, okay, like she's talking about something she's upset about. It turns out that's not even what she's upset about. She's just upset, and then when she's upset, everything is a reason to be upset. So instead of fixing things or even trying to fix things, you should just listen and focus on the fact that she's upset and try to make her less upset emotionally, not by taking away her problems on whatever she's complaining about.
That is such a good tip. I think all men
so
should
hard to
listen
do.
to
Oh my God.
my husband word for word
I
because
don't
it's
do
going
it well,
to make
though.
your lives easier with your woman. And then to add to that, as the woman in this marriage, I can say that I realize my husband has a better time taking care of me when I'm just direct and I don't play games with beating around the bush and assuming that he should know how I feel and he should know what I want. Like when I'm emotional, I've started to say, babe, I just want you to love me right now. Just be nice to me. I just keep it simple.
After like
I keep it
45
kindergarten
minutes-
friendly.
After 45 minutes of telling me,
No. Don't listen to him. The moment I say, honey, I literally just need you to cuddle me. And then he's like, oh, that's what I need to do. And he does it and I'm happy.
Yeah, but probably better just to expect that at the start. But that's a huge thing. That's very difficult to do. That's
It is very difficult to do because when emotions are heated and everything is up in the air, it's hard to see clearly. I get it, right? So women, just be direct. Just tell your man, hey, I just want a hug, or I just need you to cuddle me. I just need you to love me. And then with men, just when your wife or your woman is clearly upset, listen to them. Don't try to fix in the moment. Okay, would you be okay not ever having kids? Absolutely not.
Probably not. I mean, I would really prefer to. I also think just like life would be so boring at a certain point if we didn't have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, so not really.
Yeah, I think life is all about building your unit, your little family, and kids need to be a part of that unit.
And kids sound just fun. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I cannot wait for the day to have a mini Max, you know?
I would be very happy to have a daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it'd be easier for me.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have a baby. Do you think we're going to have a boy first or a girl first? And I promise you, I'm going to look back on this video and see who was right. Boy or girl first when we have our first baby?
I would much prefer to have a girl. It's going to be so much easier for me because all I want to do is take care of her and stuff. I feel like with boy, I'm going to have to learn how to not project all the time, you know, and
Yeah.
not live through him all the time.
I'm open to both. Does your hubby play pro tennis?
I wish. Oh my God. I want to be a pro tennis player so badly. I just want to be like really good at it, but it's really, really hard. It's really hard. I would say I am on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at like a solid 6.
Yeah, no, you're amazing. You're like actually
Solid
so good.
6.
Is your husband too cool to play pickleball?
I mean, obviously growing up with tennis, I see pickleball a certain way,
What way?
but I mean, it just seems, you know, obviously I realize I'm not right in saying this. It's a very intense sport, but obviously I think tennis is better, right?
Yeah. Who are your favorite content creators, honey?
Ooh, I really only go to YouTube to watch like sports games and stuff and highlight reels.
And tennis, like all you watch is tennis podcasts. What's that guy's podcast?
Andy Roddick.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love Andy Roddick.
Yeah. And then
freaking
for
love
7
Andy
days straight, he was fangirling over the fact that he met that guy in
That
butcher
guy,
shop.
Andre. Listen, I had my photo taken with Andre Agassi
Yeah.
by Steffi Graf. Steffi Graf took the photo.
Whoa.
I mean, I haven't cleaned my phone screen ever since. I want her fingerprint on my phone permanently.
Aw, that's so sweet. Are they like the OGs or something?
They're legends. Steffi Graf was my mom's absolute favorite tennis player, so that was just unbelievable. It was so funny because Steffi offered to take the photo, and I was just like, well, like, why don't we just all take it together? And then Andre was like, very seriously, he was like, no, she doesn't do that. I'm like, oof, like, I feel like I'm overstepping here a little bit.
Will you guys play piano again?
Like professionally, probably not
like
because
for
I
them,
can't.
For everyone.
Oh, of course.
Our family.
Of course. As long as people like it, of course.
I'm dying to know why Vegas. I already explained why, but do you want to explain why you decided to move to Vegas with me?
I decided to move here because you're going to be happier here, which is going to save me, I'm sure, a lot of heartache and headache if you're happier. That's literally the only reason I agreed to move here.
You wouldn't make all these tennis friends if it weren't for moving
No,
here.
tennis out here has been great because I can literally play every day of the year.
And you have like tennis friends that you cycle through. You know what I mean? So.
Tennis friends. You're making me sound like I'm like a tennis like pimp or something.
Thank you, husband, for sitting down with me today.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, she never lets me kiss her when she has her makeup on.
No.
Oh, okay. Now look at that. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I love you guys, Butter Bites. Let me know what other type of videos you want. Comment it down below. If you have follow-up questions for us, comment it down below. I love you.